Hi, and welcome to the latest Global Cities video series. And I'm here today with Marc Oursin from Shurgard, and he's the CEO and has been CEO since 2012. So, Marc, welcome. You must be one of the longest serving CEOs, I reckon.
Thank you very much for that glory.
Exactly. But you look so young, so it's great. So as you know, kind of short fire questions. We're just going to understand a bit more about Shurgard. So could you just summarize your business for us, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, Shurgard is self-storage. Self-storage industry is a B2C industry. That's the key topic to have in mind. It's not B2B, it's a B2C, which is quite rare in the real estate business. So it's B2C. Secondly, it's one of the rare industry where you still have a massive growth potential, especially in Europe. The industry is completely underdeveloped versus I would say the US. The gap is 140 more or less. The US started 50 years ago, and we just started 20 years ago. So we have a massive runway in front of us. So, and it's an urban product. I mean, it's B2C and urban. So we live because people are looking for space because they don't have space at home. It's pretty simple. So the more density of population you have, the better you are. And that's why we're mainly in the capital cities of Europe.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. I mean, when we sort of think about where the demand for your product comes from, whenever I speak to clients, I talk about divorce, death, displacement, really cheer them up.
Yeah, the famous 4Ds.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of demand, it's what, just people living in smaller accommodation, cities, etc.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes people also think that this is related to the real estate transaction activity, which is, yes, it's part of it, but the vast majority of our clients or customers are people who are renting their homes. And as you said, they are simply facing them, we call the life events. Yeah. And due to the fact that they are living in a pretty limited space, these life events are triggering the need of space. Yeah. And that's where we are.
Yeah, fantastic. And then when you think about your business, the portfolio, what's the jewel in the crown? What do you think is the most valuable thing?
I would say two things are the most valuable, not only one, but two.
Okay.
It's the fact that for the past almost 30 years, we have been able to develop a fantastic portfolio in these capital cities of Europe. So the London, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam. And at the same time, the fact that we have turned this portfolio into a platform, because we talked about B2C. B2C means a lot of customers. We have roughly 200,000. So to manage that efficiently, you need to create an infrastructure, IT infrastructure, management infrastructure. If you speak B2C, it means Google, so advertising. And the platform answers to that. So it's the combination of this platform, which is super efficient, plugged to the locations we have.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, I think one of the things that we value very highly with your business is that tech platform. And ability, as you say, to deal with lots of customers. And you hinted at it a little bit before, but in terms of to try and recreate your portfolio, if, you know, someone with, you know, a lot of money comes through, private equity guys, sovereign wealth funds, how could they try and recreate the Shurgard portfolio?
Good luck. It's going to take a lot of time. It's very difficult to find space to build or even to convert buildings of, let's say, 10,000 square meter, which is, let's say, 100,000 square foot. In the capital cities I was just mentioning to you, you know. So I think that no one is able to reproduce the same portfolio quickly. It will take decades to do the same.
Yeah.
If they can.
Yeah, if they can find the land.
Yes.
Exactly. And then, I mean, you've mentioned cities. It seems that cities are absolutely kind of essential to driving demand for this product.
Crucial, yeah. So the city is really, and I would say more than the country. What is important is how do you create a density of properties in a given urban area. So what is, and again, back to the efficiency of the platform, how you operate your properties, how do you bid on Google for all the keywords, and having more properties in a given area makes you more efficient than being spread all over a given country with one or two properties spread over different cities, you know. Yeah. So that's why we're concentrating, and our discipline of development is very strict in that sense, where we are targeting the megalopole of Europe. So London, 10 to 12 million people, Paris region, same size, what we call Randstad. So for American investors, it's the greater, let's call it the greater Amsterdam. Yeah. It's where you have 40% of the Netherlands living there. In Germany, Berlin, then in Stockholm and Copenhagen and Brussels.
Yeah. Okay. And then so CO, as we mentioned, since 2012. As you look out for the next 5 years, what's the most exciting thing for Shurgard?
Growth, I would say. First, growth,
Yeah.
and secondly, to continue to optimize the platform.
Yeah.
So to me, it's again, it's like for the teams, I'm usually using a kind of image. I'm telling the guys within the company, what we are doing is surfing. We're surfing on the tsunami with a big board.
Yeah.
So hold on, move on.
Yeah.
That's what we are doing.
Yeah. And growth for us is, it's very hard to create that consistently in real estate markets, and that's another thing that we really to think about the storage sector and Shurgard in particular. So it's very exciting. And then sort of last business-related question, from a sustainability point of view, what's the biggest kind of challenge or kind of benefit from the business? What are you thinking about the most?
Well, the first challenge is that we have been, we are followed by GRESB, GRSB, and for the third year in a row, we've been the industry leader for self-storage in the world. We have got 5 stars and 91 point out of 100. So far as the first challenge is to keep this, the number 1 seat and to continue at that pace. So that's the first challenge. The second one, globally, self-storage is an industry which is not emitting a lot of CO2. By definition, it's one of the lowest CO2 producer in real estate. But nevertheless, we have done a lot and we need to continue to do that. So our target is to be neutral for carbon emissions by 2030 for what you call Scope 1 and Scope 2. Yeah. And that's the target we have. And we are working on that, which means probably having solar panels in most of the properties. That's I would say, the last blade to cut the emissions.
Yeah, and as you say, kind of being the GRESB leader with all of the kind of the US peer group, that's quite an achievement. So congratulations on that. And now for some less business-related questions. Okay. So who's the most famous person you've met?
Jack Welch from GE, a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm not so young. So.
And then who wins a fight between a lion and a tiger?
Well, my Chinese sign is tiger, as I was mentioning to you. So to me, the tiger should win.
It's easy. There we go.
It's an easy one.
Okay, I've never had such a convincing answer. Good. And then do you prefer cheese or chocolate?
Because I'm originally French, cheese, because cheese triggers wine, red wine.
Fantastic. And then finally, which is your favorite city?
That's a hard one. Actually, I don't have any favorite city. What is important is with whom do you live? Okay. It's not the location, it's with whom you're living.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you living with the right person or not?
Very, very diplomatic answer there.
Well, it's the truth.
Very good. Marc, thank you very much for joining us and talking to us about Shurgard. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.